In which cases can preliminary and final decrees be passed? The Code of Civil Procedure 1908 provides for the passing of preliminary decrees and final decrees in certain types of suits where the rights of the parties are first determined by a preliminary decree and the suit is finally disposed of by a final decree after further proceedings. The following are the cases in which preliminary and final decrees may be passed. Suit for recovery of possession of immovable property and mean profits. Order 20 Rule 12 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. The court may pass a preliminary decree regarding possession and direct an inquiry into mean profits, followed by a final decree. Administration suits. Order 20 Rule 13 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. A preliminary decree determines the rights of parties while a final decree is passed after administration of the state. Suits for preemption. Order 20 Rule 14 of the CPC. The code first passes a preliminary decree and subsequently a final decree after compliance with the conditions imposed. Suits for dissolution of partnership. Order 20 Rule 15 of the CPC. A preliminary decree declares dissolution and directs accounts to be taken. A final decree is passed after settlement of accounts. Suits for accounts between principal and agent. Order 20 Rule 16 of the CPC. A preliminary decree directs account to be taken and a final decree follows after determination of the amount due. Suits for partition and separate possession. Order 20 Rule 18 of the CPC. A preliminary decree determines the shares of parties while a final decree affects actual partition and delivery of possession. Suits for foreclosure of mortgage. Order 34, Rule 2 of the CPC. Preliminary and final decrees may be passed in mortgage foreclosure proceedings. Suit for sale of mortgaged property. Order 34, Rule 4 and 5 of the CPC. The court may first pass a preliminary decree and later a final decree for sale of the mortgaged property. Suits for redemption of mortgage. Order 34, Rule 7 and 8 of the CPC. A preliminary decree determines the amount payable and a final decree is passed after redemption. Conclusion. Thus, the CPC 1908 permits the passing of preliminary and final decrees in specific suits such as partition suits, mortgage suits, administration suits, partnership suits, preemption suits, suits for mean profits, and suits for accounts. In these cases, the preliminary decree determines the rights of the parties, while the final decree completely disposes of the suit.